Thank you very much, Mr. Onyari, Minister for Culture, Women and Children Affairs of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Hannah Chiptumo, the Executive Secretary of our beloved organization, IGAD, His Excellency Wakene Gabeyehu, and your very able deputy, my friend Mohamed Ware, distinguished members of this panel of eminent persons, led by your chairperson, Major John Say, otherwise known as the People's General. Apparently, I think in Kenya you can call him the People's General because I bring you greetings from my Cabinet Secretary and Prime Cabinet Secretary of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. Mudavadi. He would have loved very much to be with you, Executive Secretary, but on account of other roles that he plays, he asked me to be here this morning. Major Say has mentioned that this panel of eminent persons, their knowledge is not necessarily from the books. It is born out of their wisdom and experience accumulated over time. That may be true. But I want to persuade you, General Say, that there is nothing incompatible with that view to also borrow a few ideas from books. The two can work together because indeed we need to distill your wisdom into writing so that future generations can be able to learn how we were able to deal with our own challenges. In May this year, Excellencies, Kenya ratified the new IGAD treaty. It is a treaty that has put IGAD on a solid footing, and by ratifying it, our parliament was reaffirming the fact that not only is Kenya a founding member of IGAD, but that Kenya associates itself fully with the objectives of this great institution. IGAD sits at the fulcrum of peace, development, empowerment, and transformation. Over its lifetime, IGAD has been a force multiplier, helping us navigate as a region together within our diversity, helping us navigate very, very complex peace and security challenges. Through IGAD, we were able to navigate the complexity of the breakdown of the Somalia state. Through IGAD and with IGAD, we were able to work together as we struggled with the Sudan situation as it was then, giving rise to the birth of a new nation known as South Sudan. And through IGAD, that nascent nation called South Sudan, which has struggled with various challenges around nation building, we've worked under the IGAD framework to be able to strengthen the institutional and normative frameworks of that institution, including through the revitalized agreement that was established in 2018. And so I'm just reiterating the fact that IGAD has been on the front line of our efforts at the national level. But IGAD, Excellencies, has not just been active at the national level. It has also been active at the grassroots level, where, as it were, the rubber does meet the road. I think IGAD has been innovative in its bottom-up approaches to peace building and to peace and security challenges. And in this regard, the work that IGAD has done in institutionalizing peace committees at community, at district levels, the work that IGAD has done in terms of early warning and early response have become case studies for those of us who are looking for mechanisms, and frameworks, that can help us respond to conflicts. And so the establishment by IGAD of this panel of eminent persons constitutes yet another innovation of IGAD. It is indeed a very, very unique body, because it brings together men and women of integrity who have played great roles in their own respect, in their respective countries, but also within the region, to bring peace through their professions, but also through living out and embodying the values of peace. And I'm really delighted, Your Excellency, to see the kind of men and women that you've brought together, including our sports heroes, men and women who've brought honor and prestige to our nations and to our region. And their names alone are revered and respected, and their presence in conflict arenas is in itself an immediate call to action. And their voices are deeply, deeply respected. And so, Your Excellency, I want to commend IGAD for this innovation. Africa, as it were, and the region in particular, is fraught with conflicts. And we're not just dealing with interstate conflicts, but conflicts within the state itself are what bedevil our continent. Our continent today is experiencing about 35 different sets of conflicts that are craving for response. This makes Africa the highest continent, the continent with the highest number of conflicts, of internal conflicts. And it is through this council or this panel of eminent persons that some of those conflicts, some of those fires can be extinguished. The fires that are burning in our communities can be put off, can be extinguished through this eminent persons council. Your Excellencies, I want to persuade us to deploy our best resources towards institutionalizing this Council of Eminent Persons. And Kenya offers itself to be able to support IGAD and support the Secretariat in the journey towards institutionalization. Indeed, as you know, Your Excellencies, the United Nations Charter itself proposes that the use of force is prohibited. In the resolution of conflicts, the number one principle of international law is to prohibit the use of force. And international law also provides that where two parties are faced with a conflict situation, their first call of duty or their first responsibility is to default to mediation, negotiation, and reconciliation. That is the first thing they should do. But 80 years after the establishment of the United Nations, there is actually no mechanism where people can mediate conflicts, can negotiate conflicts. Because the United Nations Security Council, as constituted, first deals with interstate conflicts in the first instance, okay? And even as formulated, as structured, the architecture of the United Nations Security Council, or the architecture, for that matter, of the AU Peace and Security Council, is not one that lends itself, for a lengthy mediation process, And therefore, dear Excellencies, it is for that reason that we need to work together around a framework, for institutionalizing and making mediation and negotiation a default approach to conflict to conflict resolution. And Kenya and its partners are working around this issue, and I hope we can work with the Secretariat on a convention for the support, protection, and acceleration of conflict prevention resolutions, and resolutions amongst others. I say these things to us, indeed, really just to say that I welcome you on behalf of the Minister. I wish you happy deliberations, and I commit on behalf of the Minister and on behalf of the Republic that we will work hand in glove with the Council of Eminent Persons of IGAD.